What's up, guys? Chris Albert here. It is Sunday, April 27th, Divine Mercy Sunday. Just finished up my Divine Mercy Novena, a wonderful set of prayers found in the diary of Sister Faustina Kowalska, great saint. But today I wanted to talk to you about something, and it's about something that I realized as I've gotten older. The other day I told you that winning is not hitting a home run, right? It's doing the little thing every day. And one of the things I've realized about life is that you have to realize that it doesn't play out like the movies, right? It doesn't. Because in the movie, we're all eventually going to be the hero, right? We're all going to have our home run moment and things like that. But in life, that's likely not going to come, right? The wins happen by slow progress every day, right? The little things you do every single day, right? Getting up every morning, if you're trying to lose weight, walking, making sure that you're drinking water and not drinking soda, right? Making sure that you are eating healthy proteins. All my successes at work, being in manufacturing, it's constantly analyzing the processes that we have and slowly trying to make them better, right? Not making vast, crazy changes or anything like that that'll affect the cyclicality of my business, but making slow changes that are going to make the business better, that are going to make the product better, that are going to make our customer service better, right? And I think, in today's society where everything's about radical change, everything's about, waking up a new person every day, that in a lot of ways is an unfair standard. That if we try to hold ourselves to, we're constantly going to fail and we're going to constantly get depressed. And one of the things you have to realize about life in general is that you have control over a lot less than you think you do, right? I mean, a lot of us, we wake up, we look at social media, we're seeing what's going on in the world. It gets us depressed, but you have no control over that, right? You wake up, when you get to be my age, I'm 46. What I used to have control over, right? My hopes and dreams when I was a kid, and those choices that I made back then, they've consistently boxed me into a point where, well, my set of hopes and dreams are limited now. Like, I can't say, hey, I want to be an astronaut. I'm 46 years old. I can't go out there and just start studying to be an astronaut and try to join the Space Force and become friends with Elon Musk. I make boat anchors and I'm good at making boat anchors and that's what I've done for the last 5 years and that's my career path now. I'm somebody who chased trying to be a fitness influencer for 10 years, and in some ways I had some success, in other ways I haven't, which is why I'm not doing it today. But as you get older, those sets of choices you get to make about your life, well, they go away and you don't have them anymore. So if you're young, you have to realize that you actually do have a lot of control. And if you're older like me, you have to realize that you don't have a ton of control. And so what happens is, in either case, you got to focus on what you actually have control of, right? What are you going to do each day when you wake up? How are you going to live your life? What I have control over trying to take care of my health, right? I have control over trying to drink water rather than soda, eating good proteins and putting good stuff into my body. I don't have as much control over, building muscle like I used to. I used to be a bodybuilder. I'm not anymore. I'm older. I don't have as much testosterone running through my body. I don't have as much time to work out as I used to, right? So I've got less control over it. But over what I do have control of, I'm constantly trying to improve that aspect of my life. I'm still in the gym every morning at 5:30 a.m. trying to get a workout in, right? It's not a hammer workout. I'm not killing myself in the gym like I used to, but I'm getting it done, and the whole purpose of that is to feed into my overall goals, which are to be a better partner for my woman, to be a better man, to be a strong man, to be healthy, to be a better business person, right? And that's feeding into that. So it is what you're doing with your day-to-day life, is that feeding into the overall goals that you have? And if it's not, why are you doing it? Are you spending hours each day on pornography sites, right? Are you scrolling through Instagram, double tapping on every fine booty in Instagram, right? And trust me, I've spent a lot of time doing that, but one of the things I realized is wasn't getting me anywhere. And if I'm spending hours doing that, I'm not spending hours on the things I actually have control of that are going to make my life better. Are you making the effort to put yourself into a better mental space? I see so many young men out there, they're not able to find women. They're depressed. They're not able to even talk to women. I see so many young men out there who, when I talk to them, they stare at the ground. They don't want to look in my eye. Are you able to talk to another man with confidence? Those are all things that you can work on, right? They're all things that you could practice. We live in the internet age, the age of information, where you can go out there and get courses on personal interaction, courses on how to speak to women with confidence, and courses on how to deal with people in a business environment. My point is this: there's so many things that you can do, right? And there's both good things and bad things. There's good things that you can do each and every day, little things that you do each and every day that are going to have a major impact on your life, right? Things that are going to help improve your health, things that are going to help improve your skill set, things that are going to help improve your standing in life, your knowledge base, right? And then there's so many other things that you could do that are just going to tear you down, right? Wasting your time worrying about the news, right? Things that you have no control over. There's so many people who watch the news 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And honestly, the impact on your life is minimal, right? There's so many people who, like I said, they just scroll Instagram looking at every fine girl that they can, right? When that woman is never going to actually be in your life. She's never going to take an interest in you. She's never going to try to have kids by you or anything like that. Or maybe you're dating somebody that you absolutely know that you are never going to marry, that you know that you have no possibility of a future with, but you're still with them. And the longer you're with them, the longer you're not with the person that you should be with, or doing the work on yourself that you should be doing to be with the person who you should actually be with, right? So many men waste their time on that. And when you get to be my age, and when you get to be 46, right, you look back at those days when you wasted that time, and you wish more than anything that you could have it back. You wish more than anything. I wish more than anything that I could be 21 again, and have so many choices in my life, right? And you wish you had that luxury to waste that time again, but if you were to truly go back with that knowledge in your head, you wouldn't waste a second of it. You wouldn't waste a second of it. So don't waste time. Don't waste life. Get out there, be the man you should be the person you should be, and focus your entire life on that, right? I know that's easy for me to say now, but none of you would want to. If you're 20 years old, I don't care what state you're in. I don't care where you are in life. But if you're 20 years old, I would trade lives with you in a second. I wouldn't trade life. I love my life. I love who I am. I love my experiences. But I would give anything to be a 20-year-old me again. I really would. But I'm not, and that's not possible. So I'm making the most of what I've got as a 46-year-old man. Because another thing I learned is that even though I might wish I was 20 at some point, when I'm 60, I'm pretty sure I'm going to wish I was 46 again. And when I'm 80, I'm pretty sure I'm going to wish I was 60 again. So just remember that, guys. All right, that's all I got for you today. Again, these vlogs are not me trying to become an influencer. It's not me trying to get famous or anything like that. If you want to share this, share it. If you don't, that's fine too. I hope you got something out of it. What this is about is me trying to keep a record of who I am at this point in my life, because I want to have kids, and I'm hope, God willing, I pray to God that I'm going to be able to have kids. But and if I do, I want them, and I hope I live a long, happy life. But if I do, I want them to be able to see what I was like when I was at my peak years, and who I was, and what type of advice I'd have for them. And the benefit of anybody else who watches this channel is that they get the benefit of all the mistakes I've made in life. And so I love you all. To my future kids, I definitely love you. And to everybody else, I love you as well. And I hope you are getting the most out of life. And that's it. All right. I'll talk to you guys all again soon. And I've got a lot of cooking to do. Sunday dinner, going to be very important. Get to have dinner with my woman, and we just talk about the week. So, peace.